Well, I thought some things that came from my research in doctoral research that was finished in 2012, 13, and it's focused in piracy and counterfeiting and fake things in Brazil and São Paulo, especially the city of São Paulo, the city of Foz do Iguaçu, and the Cidade del Este in the south of the country. It's a border city. They are neighbor cities. It's a city, one city in Paraguay, and the other one in Brazil, and also the city of Belém do Pará, in the middle of the forest, the Amazon forest. But I try to show you today something about the city of São Paulo, showing how the piracy thought as something that we could make a geographical approach, include the social spatial inequalities that are a long history subject in the Brazilian history, and we cannot let it pass. Considering that the Brazilian society is an information society, it's not true. Half of the 200 people who live in Brazil have never used the internet, so we can't talk that we are an informational society. And I think with a Bible, with some of the authors, that we can't say that Brazilian society is a totally Occidental society. We could talk as the Chinese society or the Indian society maybe. So even if you are the occidentalization of the Brazilian society since since the colonization period, we can consider it as totally Occidental. So the idea of piracy and legal or illegal, formal, informal, it makes no sense. They are not so useful to explain all the realities of all the really economic things that we can see in the streets, especially in the capital, the São Paulo capital city. I'd like to start with this map that shows the Brazilian movie theaters in 2010. We have almost only 10% of the Brazilian cities have a movie theater. It means that 9% of the cities doesn't have a movie theater. It means that piracy is not an option. It's the only way that people can find to what to move if they want to. Doesn't mind if it's a blockbuster or it's a cult move like I'm showing in a brief. Here, this is the São Paulo city. We have here it's a second level organization. It's the subprefeituras. It's a kind of mayor, city hall. Sorry, it's a second level city hall. We have 33, if I'm not wrong. Yes, and here we have the movie theaters in the city. Now we have the city center and the richest area, and of course a lot of the subprefeituras doesn't have movie theaters, and here we have most part of the inhabitants. In this side of the city, we have almost 4 million people living here, and the concentration of the theaters, the movie theaters, are here. We have the same, almost the same geography concerning the performance, the concert rooms in the city, and the theaters. It means that the information and the idea of the communication It depends most of part in the city on where do you live and how money do you have to spend to watch a movie, to go to the theater or something like this. Almost, I could say that one middle family in São Paulo, it's formed by 4 persons, 2 adults and 2 children. If they want to go to the cinema to move, it makes like 75 reais. It's almost 10% of the Brazilian minimum salary. It means no food, no fast food, no popcorn. Take the bus, go to the cinema, and go back home. It makes one day, one afternoon, almost 10% of the salary of the minimum salary. That is the income of almost 20% of the families in the great São Paulo area. Here it's something related to piracy, not directly, but I agree with you when you said that in India we have a fair use to the copy for academic students, and we have this in Brazil. It's in my opinion, it came from the juridical principle of droit d'auteur. And nowadays we talk about copyright, but the idea of droit d'auteur, we can make the copies for fair use since a long time ago. All the students in Brazilian university use copied books. We don't have neither the libraries, neither the money to buy a book. I know that in China it's something related. We could even ask it. There are a lot of Chinese students here. I'm very curious to ask them what's their idea about piracy and copying. It would be very interesting, I think. But in this map, you have here books by person in public libraries by subprefeituras in the city of São Paulo. We can see that we have 2 subprefeituras. One of them is Cidade Ademar. It's one of the poorest areas in the city, that we have 0 books by person. It means there is no library, there is no books. It means we must copy. If you want to read something, we must buy DVDs if you want to watch movies. Because the internet, the ability to access internet, it depends on where do you live. If you live here, we have the best cable for internet. But if you live in the borders of the city, we don't have any speed. We don't have the right speed to downloading or to watch on streaming or things like this. Even if this kind of practices are the most how can I say, popular nowadays. In this way, we could even see that I bring some Brazilian DVDs. I'm not saying, but we have a difference, and this is one thing that I should shortly show you. But this is one street in the front of the city theater. It's São Paulo downtown, the Teatro Municipal de São Paulo. We have lots of street vendors that are all day long in the streets. Yes, in this picture, he's doing his work very well, but with his boxes. And when the police and the fiscalization appears, he crosses the street and he comes back in a few minutes, and it happens a lot of times during a day, and it's normal. So if you have this illegal work, we can't forget that there is a negotiation that runs and a kind of communications that works all the time in all the cities in all Brazil, I could say. We have in this kind of kiosk films like this, like the blockbusters, like Boyhood, and shows that, and the things that I don't even know the titles in English, and what is very a technical. They don't have names. And what is very interesting that they are in plastic. The cover are very flexible, so they can do this movement with the films, and there are no problems. This is a low cost. We can buy 10 films, 10 DVDs with 10 reais. It's cheap. On the other side, you have this kind of DVDs that are dedicated, you know this, no?
That wasn't one update.
They are dedicated to a middle-class universitary group. It's a little a cult move, like Jean-Paul Sartre documentaire, and they are very well made, high quality. Yes, we have the name, we have a printing and things like this, and this one is 10 reais. Okay. Or like Tarkovsky, Solaris. It's very hardly to find it. You must download if you want. We don't have in the movie theaters the tradition of rewatching old movies, so we don't have maybe in some cine clubs, but it's not usual. But you must buy this kind of movie of DVD, sorry. And they have this one is artesanato digital. I don't know how to say this in English. Artesanato digital, the name.
Is that the name of the company?
Oh, the label, yes, but artesanato digital. Yes, it's a label.
Digital craft?
Yes, digital craft. They have they have almost a trademark. And in this way, I'd like to say that piracy and the idea of faking Brazilian society, it's related to the economy, to the geography, to the economy. These areas in downtown, the center, we have all the bus stops. We have the main stations, subway stations. So we have an audience that pass by. We can imagine something like in the underground, the São Paulo underground. It makes like 4 million people by day in 4 lines. It's very concentrated. We have some hub stations, 5 hub stations that concentrate almost the movement, and the guys like him, they are always around. Another one that is very interesting is the Augusta Street. It's nearby Paulista Avenue. That is one of the economic hearts of the city, and here we still have the movie theaters out of the shopping centers, the malls. So we can find a kind of geographic specialization of the DVDs. We can find this kind of documentary very easily. And this is another very creative form of transporting, showing
and hiding and going away, of course. When you have the problem with the fiscalization, we close the box and it's okay. Or something like this, it's a very, and because of this, they must be like this flexible, like in plastic with flexible cover. Because when the police, we have the military police in Brazil, they are not civil. We are both, in fact. But we can close it with a fast movement like this, and we run. Or something like this. This is one of the. This is a 200 meters away from the city hall. We have the police base 200 meters too, and we have even so a lot of street vendors, and it's very usual to find MP3 completely discographies and things like this that are very very useful for the because the informational objects like even the DVD player they start to banalize itself nowadays. And finishing, I'd like to show some problems when we have the problems with the negotiations. It was a protest with the Camelos. It was nearby the Brás. It's area. In the center. It's a very popular area. We can see here. This is the military force. They use weapons like this all the time, even against the seller like this. They have nothing, so their voice. But they do things like this. It was in 2011. After this, we had a negotiation with the city hall, and nowadays we can do things like this more. I could say that more conservative parties they understand that the rise of the the poor consummation, the importance of this to the poor class, the low class. And this to finish, this is something that we could talk like a geopolitics subject. These are the Brazilian royalties payment from 2007 2011, and it makes something like no, it's wrong. Huh? I'm sorry. It's 11 billions de reais. No, US dollars. Sorry, 11 billions. Especially 50% goes to the United States, and after we have Europe. And okay, it's okay. I think it's okay.